My audio is cutting out, so
Hey, Bluff. I don't hear you. Because you're talking on Discord, aren't you? And I've got Discord muted. Why is it I can hear Rabbit and not Bluff? Oh, it's so confusing.
because Blorf's not in the chat.
Oh, he's not on voice chat.
Hello?
Hello, hello.
I did it wrong.
There we go, I can hear you now.
Oh, I have to mute Twitch, I guess, or mute it on here.
So I think we want to say well done. It's really good. I think it's really good. Added loads of stuff in.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been a busy month. That is for sure. I was writing those notes for the patch for 6.5 hours yesterday. I felt like writing an essay for school, but it's all done.
Well, yeah, there's so much food options now. It's great. I love this desirability thing. I was using it to make them eat the milk to stop it going not eaten and rotten.
Oh, good. I'm glad it's working. A lot of these things, because it's been a very intense update, they go in and I just am relying on people to wave their hands in the air if they don't work. So good, good, good. I'm glad that's working as intended. I gave it a quick test in my little test bed, but I haven't had time to test it in the wild.
Yeah, it's one of the things that always annoyed me because the milk would just not get eaten and left out in the rain or.
Yeah, it was an emergency food. The food desirability I think is really going to help. And now I finally have a use for the butter, which is great as well because of the tatties or the haggis and neeps. But I still have to do something with the cheese.
Cheese.
I was thinking of
Cheese.
making the cheese a trade good, but we will see.
What it sells to traders, doesn't it?
Oh, I think it does. Yes. I
Yeah.
just need to make it worth more.
Right.
I'm hopefully going to add salt in the near-ish future as well, which will change some of the recipes. Like cheese will have salt, and certain things will be preserved with salt. But this was a update that had to come out today, so because Clanfolk should be on sale in 1 minute. So yeah,
Very exciting.
if everything works as is intended, it should be on sale in a minute. So we will see. I sure hope it does.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Very exciting.
Well, it is on
I'm
sale.
so excited for new people.
Yeah, it should be really good. Although I played through the intro flow with idea points off and with all tutorials on, and I have to do some streamlining. Um, because of all the additions, especially to the unlocks, I have to completely revamp how the unlocks are shown. It's just overwhelming. I hit a point where I had about 25 come at me, And I was like, "What's happening?" And it's my own game, so I really need to change that, and that will be something I do soon. Because I can see from the perspective of a new player that it's just like a flood of stuff. Everybody who's probably watching has played enough that it just they can just tune it right out. But yeah, it's not good. But
Well, I
thankfully,
noticed I was a little bit when I first started playing the game. I remember that happening. I was like, "What have I just like done?" And then the
yeah,
panic, especially if they don't know, like a lot of players don't notice. There's the blue padlock which stops you missing anything. If it did unlock and you didn't see the pop up, the blue padlock is something you haven't seen before. But that's one of
yeah,
those little things that's like when there's so much other things going on and people think, oh, I've missed something. What have I done? I've got to build it now because I've unlocked it, so I must need it right now. Which is
that's
another new
exactly
player
right.
reaction, isn't it?
Yeah. So I have to fix that. There's been three different versions of the unlocking. The little blue locks was the final version. Well, the little blue locks and the ideas panel with that little Q on the left. Then at one point, all the unlocks used to come in the alerts, but then that was a little overwhelming. And even before that, the actual original unlocking was those drop downs, and I need to minimize that. I'm gonna minimize the drop down part, and I'm going to not show all the unlocks. Certain things you don't need to know, like the fact that you unlock uh, what is it called, fresh hide. It's like you'll just get it when you use the butcher block. So it's better not to just cloud people's minds, I think. So yeah, I have to do that. I wish I had one extra week on this update, um, but I always feel that way when one comes
Would
out.
it not be worth having a separate, like a basic tutorial? Then you wouldn't have to rewrite every time some update comes out.
A basic tutorial for the unlocking.
No, for like the start of the game, instead of starting the game in Spring 1, you start the game in the tutorial.
Oh, I see. I've thought about it.
Because
I
then you can
figure by the time,
fixture on certain, then it can be fixed on the basic things, and then there's updates and updates. You can be like, now you've progressed to the main game, enjoy your spring.
yeah, that's true. I will think on it. I always thought that by the time people finish the tutorials, because the tutorials can go on for many days, that they'd be invested in their little farm and not want to quit. So I was like, just let it run through after
Yeah.
it's done. And certain tutorials, like some of the tutorials won't even happen until the first winter and things as well. So, I don't know. I'll have to think on it, but I do want to revamp the intro a little bit. Um, and I have to also, uh, I would say maybe half the players don't even play with tutorials on. So
Mm.
I've started to drift towards putting the data on mouse overs versus on tutorials because you can't escape a mouse over, but you can escape a tutorial. So it feels like it's helping. There's been less over time. I feel like there have been less people who have been saying, "Hey, my people aren't doing what I want them to do." That seems to be getting better. Um, but we will see because today, hopefully, a whole bunch of new people come in, and this will be a really good test of what is working for new people and what isn't, because it will be our biggest addition of new people for like a year if things go correctly, because
Okay.
it's supposed to be a deal, and we should actually be visible on Steam today, which hasn't really happened since it first came out. Yeah, it's visible on Steam, so that's great.
Awesome.
So that's working, and it's the highest discount. It's only ever been 20%, and it's 25%. So it should be all right.
Now
Let's see
is
what
the
happens.
time. Yeah, I'll just set this kitchen up. This is where we're making our stew.
Oh, this is a pretty nice place.
It's kind of gotten a little bit big. We've got up here as well as the couples area. And this was from
Oh,
the
it is
Yeah,
huge.
Blorf. She had 2,000 planting tasks or
yeah,
farming
but
tasks.
it's not. They're fertilizer jobs, and they're set to level 2, so they come under any other farming and whatnot.
Oh, I see. Down
Oh,
down here to. I get
Most,
it.
yeah, most of that is. Show you. I'll prove it to you. Look,
Oh,
1,700 fertilizer jobs, which are set to level 2 priority.
I really like that bean field. Are those fields up to the northeast? Could I just take a look at that for a minute?
Up
Maybe when
here,
it's daytime. I haven't seen a nice fields of
we've got
the new
one of
stuff.
each in the 4, and then I've got extra beans because we needed beans. We want to do a good stew this year, so
Okay,
we've
those
got
are serious big fields. Wow.
extra beans here and oats for the bread and some trees because we haven't actually got a tree farm anywhere apart from this.
Okay.
And this fridge was from the first, was it version 14, was it, when you put out the first time you put it out and the vegetables didn't stack as they do now.
Oh, so you needed an ultra fridge. I see.
I
Yeah.
went a little bit panicked because I thought, oh no, I've only got a few seeds I need to grow really hard. And then oh no, I'm wasting food. I've got to store it somewhere. So I threw this fridge down basically, which has become the main. It's the seed depository really, and the overflow fridge because it's all set to level 4 for the food stack. So they top up the main house from this, but it's convenient for the farm.
Oh, I've just thought of a long-term problem. Seeds cannot be sold because I needed to make them expensive. Uh,
right.
I did make a
but
suggestion about this.
they need to be eliminated long term in some way. What was the suggestion?
Well, I've got there's 3 ways of getting rid of things. There's the compost,
Yeah,
there's the trader,
yeah,
and there's feeding it to the animals.
yeah. I'm thinking maybe adding it as a possibility that's off by default to the grain trough might work because they need to go. You're gonna if you have you're gonna have a lot of seats. I gotta make a note of that. Yeah,
I've
give
had it
it.
going rotten. Like I said, I did put a suggestion in. I think it was today because what I've got, the way I'm dealing with it at the moment is I've got this. This is a low level. I've got my high level in the fridge for what I want, which is 2,000 of each one. Yeah, I've got 2 set for each one like that. So that anything excess is coming to this seed and going rotten.
Okay.
And then when it goes rotten, it's gone. See, like this.
Yes, it's definitely a problem. I shall put it on the infinite list of tasks.
I
It
think
is.
it really does. It should go into compost, and it should definitely sell to a trader at a certain rep because we buy seeds from the trader.
I don't
Uh,
know. I think we count too much on the trader sometimes. I think there should be another way to get things or remove
but yeah,
things
because I
without
think back in the they would
trader.
have used it as many ways as possible, and I said I think there's 3 ways that because like the rotten veg, it should go in the compost, and it does, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah, I can
Because
change
they
the.
would
I
have
can add
reused
seeds to the
anything going
compost for
rotten.
sure.
See, like back in the day, this going rotten, they would have put that in the compost rather than just let it go rotten on the floor
Yes.
or fed it to the animals. What about just a different trough? I'd just put the
Well,
option on the trough to take seeds.
yes, that would be the grain trough.
Yeah,
I'm considering. Um, there's actually stories from my dad when he was a kid. and they had pigs, and what they had was a big boiler, and they would go to the butcher, and the butcher would give them all the all the offal and all the junk, and he was 8 years old, and it was his job to clean it all out, and they would boil this for the pigs. But I'm wondering if I make some kind of slop maker that's similar to the compost as well, to make animal feed, but only really pigs and chickens would eat that. Hmm. I have to definitely, seeds have to be resolved. I think for sure we can get them in the compost. We can get them in the grain feeder for like the troughs for the animals. That will work. They just have to be off by default. Um,
I'm not sure about some of this, but make sure that the seeds are not poisonous to the animals before doing that.
that's a good point too. I better add that to the list. Yes, that is true. We don't want
I
somebody
think you're right.
killing their sheep.
I think it's onion seeds are going to be poisonous, isn't it?
Yeah, onions are not safe for most animals, I believe.
Okay. See, this is great. This is good information.
Yeah, because we don't want another discussion like we had on Steam.
Yeah, that's true. All right, but there's definitely an issue there. Um, See, when I see these things in the real world, like on a playthrough like this, it's very useful because I say, oh yeah, there's 9 million seeds there, whereas in my test bed I don't see that. Oh,
Blorf, we have a question in the Discord chat. What is
yes,
the idea for adding horses? Is that going to
horses.
happen? Yeah, horses. Do you think that's going to be added or not?
It's I think it's unlikely. At least in the short term, that would require some. That would be that's a bit tougher than even animals that would haul. If we're talking about a person riding a horse, um, they don't even have legs. But um, yes,
They
it's
would they would just
yeah,
kind of squeeze the horse between their butt cheeks.
yeah, it would look really weird. Um, it's not a no, but it's definitely not right now on the list of 10 million things. So that's all I can say there.
I
It
think
would really need to be a really huge argument for it, because it would be a pretty heavy lift tech wise to make that work. Wow, I can see the beans now. That looks actually quite good.
They're lovely.
yeah, the beans are one of my favorites.
Ah,
See
this
all
is
of
good.
them.
Okay.
These are very pretty as well.
Yeah, I really like the new plants. They really add a whole bunch to the game. Um, so much so that I think grass needs an update.
Oh, yeah, you might be right. I mean, grass is was the very first thing I made, and it's just 5 lines that I
Oh,
just
oh!
wiggle.
I just had an idea for getting rid of
Yeah.
seeds. Right, what if we could make the seeds into a mixture to put it with fertilizer to make beautiful wild fertilizer, like a
It would,
special, not one that you'd put on your field. It's a different one that you put in the bare ground, and it makes wildness appear.
So kind of just like a seed
It could you
seed mulch
you could
sort of
you
thing.
could
It could work.
use the seeds from the extra from this, and then when you spread it, you get everything. You get all the oats, the flax.
yeah, it would be like a mixed wild seed.
Yeah, it would be so pretty.
Yeah, I could do that because you've already gone to the trouble of getting the seed, so it's not really exploitable. All right.
You can make it
That
expensive, and obviously it could take. You would have to put all of the different types, and that would give us another use for flax as well. Because I've not like
yeah,
there's a lot of, not much happens with flax after you've made your clothing. Hi,
So
Dred. Good morning.
one thing about this is you could say it's a little exploitable because you won't need the patches, the patches for land, but those you can plant and then destroy anyway. The fields, so you
Right.
dig it up and then you can destroy it once the plant grows. So it's not really that exploitable. But you could also use bags with it, so that you would have to carry the seeds in a bag.
You mean bags for the
Like consume the
um
bag in the process, kind of thing.
Maybe not consume the bag, but you would need a bag in order to put the mixed seeds into.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think what it would be a new, essentially it would take a fertilizer bag that was probably full, and
Right.
then it would combine it with a whole whack of predetermined seeds. Or should it just be any old seed? No, I guess it has to be predetermined because I'm going to make random stuff come out. And then wherever you put that, it will start growing a random plant. And yeah, it will look like pretty wild, actually. It might look really cool. Um, I think that's doable. It'll be a new, the only thing about it, it'll be a new job called plant wilderness or something. I don't know what. Um, but
No,
that could
you
be
could
cool
use.
anyway.
Couldn't you use the add fertilizer? But it would just be add wild fertilizer.
Yes, yes, it would be, but it would have to be like literally a new job because build fertilizer only knows about fertilizer and it does crops and things. It can be done. It's definitely a cool idea.
Or
I will do that.
Well,
Um,
here's my question about it being a new job. Couldn't you have it to where the ad fertilizer knows both of them? Because would it be really a punishment if you spread mixed seeds onto a field?
maybe it should just not allow you to spread it onto a field. What if you
Well,
wanted to
either
spread it on a field though? What if you wanted a random crop? I think that would look really cute as well.
right, but that's my point. Why? I guess unless it's a technical limitation, I don't know why it would need to be separate from just spreading
well,
fertilizer. Oh, I guess though, if you're
it's how you select it. It's how you decide, hey, I want this done. It's just like cutting down a tree and cutting down a bush are actually two different jobs, even though they're the same thing under the hood. They have to be separated. Um,
but but on that same note, isn't uh, brush cutting and bog cutting the same thing? But they're under the same job. Or
no, they're different.
okay, okay, never mind. I'm an idiot. There are two jobs.
It's not a huge deal adding a job. It's it is fine. It could be. It actually, it might actually turn out to be a planting
What
job,
if it
not a
was
job
just
job.
a pop up here rather than if you went to.
It's going to be a planting job. In
Okay.
fact,
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
Yeah.
it'll go under planting, not jobs. It'll be. It's just that usually what I use for seeds will now be a bag of fertilizer with a bunch of seeds mixed into it, and that would be fine actually. I might make a new natural section maybe um, for that type of thing if people want to create natural
I
environment.
know that people do want landscaping. That's what we're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing, Blorf, wouldn't it make more sense to have add fertilizer, excuse me, add fertilizer and add water to the uh, soil section of farming or planting instead of it being
Yeah,
their
it
job?
actually probably would. I might put it in. I shouldn't put things in both places. Uh,
Well, because I saw a complaint recently that the gooey there's just too much gooey. I think if you move some of that stuff into more appropriate places, that might help a little bit.
yes, I'm making a note of that.
There's the in-game wolf right there barking.
Oh yeah,
No,
you can hear.
no, the in-game deerhound.
Yeah, you can hear Max. He's seen the neighbors or something.
Oh, bless him.
Max is the voice actor for some of the deerhound.
Oh, he's all the deerhound.
Has he got
Oh,
the
he's all of
beard
it.
as well? Is that
Yeah,
where the
yeah.
beard came from?
I got actual deerhound sounds, and they were so close to Max that I was like, well, I can get Max to perform a lot better than these audio files because I can have him, playful and frustrated and mad and all these different things, which I have. Um,
And
whereas
it's
trying to get that consistently for sound files is really hard.
cheaper.
Oh, the sound files are pretty cheap anyway. It's about $5 a sound. But yeah, I like the consistency that when the deerhounds in the game bark, it's always the same dog. Um, it's it's. I guess I'm really used to Max's voice, though. Sometimes when I hear the dogs bark in the game, I actually think Max is upset about something, and then I realize it's the game.
He should get royalties as 30%.
He does get royalties. I gave him a sausage this morning when I was eating breakfast.
You've got to keep the star in the star he's accustomed to.
He's a cute little voice actor.
We love our doggies.
Oh, one thing that I don't that isn't Max. So I think the puppies are actual puppies. I think if you click a puppy, it won't be Max because I got to him too late for that for the
I
recording.
don't know if you can hear the game sound.
I can't right now. Here, I'll turn on. There. Now I can hear.
Oh, I can hear it barely. That's something with my settings. I don't know if it's coming out on stream or not.
Oh yeah, I hear it. It's the puppy sound. So that's not Max. All the ones I think juvenile and up are Max, but puppy's just this yip. He doesn't have that sound in him anymore.
Oh, you do the sleep woofing.
A lot of sleep tail wagging.
Oh,
It's quite funny because he sleeps outside of my office usually on there's a mat, and I'll start hearing wump 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 wump, and I'll look over and he's just wagging his tail in his sleep.
oh, bless him. Looks like the wind's blown it.
Yeah, one thing about this update that nobody will notice, that Blorf does notice, is he made it to where when Clanfolk walk through the plants, they move them aside just very slightly.
Yeah, it's something that no one's ever going to notice, but I do look out for it now. If you get them into some to walk through some tall grass, you'll see it.
Yeah, did you see the onions move when you
See
walk
it when
past
we
them?
do the harvest, right?
Man, that was complicated. It was such a silly thing to do, but I just wanted them to do it for
It's
so long.
very, very cute. We're coming to collect some bits of tidy up.
Yeah.
I want to go through the beans.
We should have a Clanfolk North America edition and have cornfields.
Yeah, at
That's
some
the
point
expansion,
that's
right?
definitely doable.
You can
The other
have
thing is if you look in the water now, there's little white um, bits around the reeds and the rocks. I don't know why that bothered me for so long, but I had to add that as well.
I don't know why it didn't bother you for so long.
Oh, I thought I was the only one who noticed it, but I guess I'm not. I felt like they looked like they were hovering before.
Yeah, it's been one of the few things that's bothered me is it always looked like the rocks were just sitting on the water.
The hard part is that none of those things are actually there. But I went into this last time we talked. It's actually just a green tile that means I am reeds. So trying to figure out where to put the little white markers on the water layer from a green tile on the grass layer was very interesting, which goes through a shader that divides it up 36 times. Ah, but it works.
Fish are jumping. Gorgeous.
I mean, this game is all about the feel to me. It's all immersion. I don't feel like I'm actually playing a game. I feel like I'm watching people live their lives.
That's great to hear.
That's
That's what I
been
want.
that's been my take on the game, at least.
I did enjoy it when I was testing this morning. I rarely get a chance to just like I was playing the intro flow. I'm usually in my test bed testing an edition, and I wait for somebody to start saying you did a bad thing if I make a change. Um, but when I played this morning with the little family, I was just playing the basic what's it called, fresh start. It was actually quite relaxing. I had the music on because I had to test everything. I was like, wow, this is actually fun. I was just kind of zoned out, and then it got to be a little bit after 9, and I was supposed to start to set the build live at 9, so it really sucks up the time.
You reckon?
Yeah, and that's another thing about this game, Blorf. Um, this is my working period. I'm actually at work, quote unquote. I'm monitoring a bunch of work stuff right now. But this game, the soundtrack is not overbearing. So having my headset on, listening to the sound is not a big deal. But since they also just kind of run through their motions and do their AI things, this is a game that you can either be fully invested in all at once, or you can have it playing and just kind of keep an eye on it and just let it run and just make little micro changes here and there.
You
So
can
it's
let
a
it
very
run, but you
versatile.
can't forget about it. Disaster can
Right.
strike pretty quickly.
That's both true and false. Jalex let his run overnight once, and he ended up coming back to 100 chickens, but everybody was alive and fine.
I've had it where
Interesting.
everyone's dead and the animals are fine.
I love
I
it when
think it was
you
cats
forget
had
it.
taken over the world. They were just living in the house.
I love it when you forget about it and everybody's dead, and there's no real notice that everybody's dead because it's just the clan's still continuing. There's just nobody in it, and
Well,
you're just
technically, you
watching.
can still continue it because you've got money. You can hire workers, and you can run the farm without a clan.
You definitely can, and you can just keep hiring workers until if they want. Did I cut out?
Oh no, I hear you. Sorry, I'm just doing two things at once. I'm reading the
We're all zoned
discussion
out.
notes.
No one's paying attention. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm reading the discussion notes from the update to see what's going on, and doing some replying at the same time.
30% says if you have 10,000 mushrooms and nothing in range of sparks, and you can let it run for days. Yeah. I think they're pretty good at dealing with fire. They're more likely to deal with a fire when you're not there than deal with running out of sticks. If they ran out of logs.
So yesterday I was trying to prepare my save so I can demo some of the new stuff. Um, it was crazy. I had my first ever fire in my clan, and what was crazy about it was there was a bush, a berry bush, that was so on the edge of the tile that I thought it was the next tile, but it just barely was in the tile that was right next to the fire. And It caught everything on fire.
What did
But
that do for your Were you on a landscaping mission? It'll give
oh
you a pretty start for next season, but
no, it was in a house I was building, and just didn't have the roof on that part yet, so they didn't cut down the bush.
oh,
But yeah, it was the house went up because it wasn't closed in, so they weren't considering it a house yet.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because if it doesn't have a roof, it's still outdoors, so they won't firefight it in the middle of the night.
I'm going to I'm gonna have so much fun with the year two plus stuff. Oh man,
I am
just thinking about that with fire.
I am
I'm gonna make
so
things
excited.
climbable again.
I'm so excited for the year 2 stuff. So very excited. And I
It'll
think
all be toggleable. Sorry to interrupt, but I just want to say that up front. It'll all be toggleable, but it gives me very much license to do crazy things, which I love.
so. Blorf, I have a thought about
I'm
it
very
being
excited for this.
toggleable. I don't think it should be necessarily like, you know how you have all the toggles in the options menu. I think you should have either a difficulty menu or some sort of difficulty menu pop up where all of these are toggled. But I don't think it should be in like directly in the options menu, like
So,
where it
like,
has
when
gameplay and all that.
you go to make a custom clan.
Oh yeah, it'll be just like with idea points. It'll be once it's on, it's on. It won't be
Oh,
wow.
so you're not
You
gonna be able
set
to toggle
your game at the
everything.
beginning of the game, and that's it.
Yeah, you set the rules, and then that's it.
Right.
Because if the fire's getting out of control, and you said, you know, real flammability, you can't just say,
Oh
no, I don't
yes.
want real
Oh, I'm
flammability
so
anymore.
yes. Please, 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 please. That's proper. That's proper. Yes, I approve.
I would like to have pretty much any kind of difficulty setting when you start it.
And
Well, I think the best thing to do will be to have, essentially classic, which will be what we have now, and then there will be modes. I mean, every min max game that I've worked on has had an insane mode, so this one will too, where everything will be on and horrible. But then there'll also be
and minus
a
3.
custom setting. There'll also be a custom where you set the toggles individually because you might want everything except you actually still want jugs to last forever, right? Um,
Yeah.
so I figure giving people the choice is fine. So I'll have like presetting ones because a lot of people won't understand up front what all the toggles mean until they've played a bunch. And yeah, for them to set that without knowing is not useful. But for people like those of us here who do know, if I said to you unlimited rats, you would know exactly what that means. Yeah, and you would say, okay, yes, I want misery, and you would click that on. But it'll be a lot of fun. I mean, wild weather, unlimited rats, long winters, all these things can be.
No sparklers, no, and no blockers, and everything is highly flammable. I don't think you just need that original how it was back where things would catch fire when they get hot. When it gets to 100% flammability, it was next to it would just catch fire, and then it would set fire to the roof. This wouldn't because it's stone. But
Oh yeah, if I
the
turned the
straw window would
flammability
catch
up,
fire. If you done
I mean,
mining gravel, there was sparks come off from the mining gravel that could start a fire.
yeah,
Yeah,
it could be quite interesting.
yeah.
Um,
All those people that like
even
digging houses in the mountains should get sparks coming off them mountains.
well, even collapsing roofs causing damage, right? Like
Yeah.
there's all kinds of things that I don't do now, but I can do. But, plagues would be quite interesting. The actual
And they should have
sickness
dust
system
when
in
they do mining in the mountain. They should make dirt.
they should make dirt, and they should get lung problems, and all kinds of things can happen. The sickness system in particular, I can do quite a bit because sicknesses can chain one to another. That's how people get antibodies when they get the cold. But untreated sickness, can develop into pneumonia and that sort of thing as well. So there's a lot of interesting stuff where the systems are in place to make it quite interesting that I feel like now I can finally trigger. I can say, okay, I can sit down and just, you know, twist my mustache, my evil mustache, and do some things now. Because there's enough ways to. I think people can survive now. There's so much food, and there's ways to do things. Um, like there seems to be a lot of ways around problems. I think anyway.
Yeah, we need people sickness, animal sickness, and blight.
Yes, that would be interesting. Blight, if you have too much of a single crop in contact, to just have it just ravage an area. That could be
Or
quite
I
interesting
think
too.
if you're planting the same field over year and again, you would get a disease as well, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
At the very least, the fertility for that type of plant should go down. But
Well,
yes,
with my tomatoes this year, my real tomatoes, we got end rot on one of our tomato bushes, and it spread so fast between the other ones because they were so close. So half of our tomatoes didn't produce usable tomatoes.
it's shocking when these diseases spread. And my mom had these beautiful 40-year-old trees on her fence line. They were skinny. They were about, I guess, 6 inches in diameter, but they're very tall. And just one after another, dead, 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 dead. Apparently, there was something that was growing in the soil that was killing them, some bacteria, and it was just moving along. So they all had to get cut down, which was sad. But yeah, that would be very interesting to see. I'd have to change the shaders to actually show blight, but that's not that big of a deal.
So
So pretty.
I feel like you've talked about this enough times in general chat. You have fireflies, right?
I don't have them. I want desperately to make them because the
Oh,
lighting system will support it very well. Um, and it would
okay,
look great. And now that I know exactly where people are walking in the high grass, I had to write that piece to make the grass wiggle. I will know exactly where to dump the fireflies out when people walk through, or animals, or anything as well.
nice.
So it will look really cool. If you imagine a trail of fireflies coming out, just not all the time, but as if they were in an area, it could look really neat.
Okay, so that was going to affect my next question. So, uh, or my next comment. Midge swarms would be great. We've talked about this a few times in the past on the Discord, but midges are a big problem in Scotland in some areas. So it'll
Around
be
where
interesting
there's
to see.
water, there's midges, isn't it?
Yeah.
I could definitely do that, and it,
I,
it would use very similar flight mechanics, like for when they are moving, which would be good.
Maybe we could have
Um,
herbal remedies to fix these problems that are coming.
we will need some kind of thing to resolve it for
Herbs
sure.
and
Otherwise, it's just
seeds
cruelty.
would be used as
well,
ingredients for the remedies.
well, I was going through my ancient beekeeping manuscripts. I have a lot of beekeeping knowledge. That's one of my favorite hobbies is beekeeping because they keep the world alive. But um, often what they did was whenever they were dealing with bees is they spread herbal creams and such on their bodies to prevent being stung, and they would burn cow poop. So there could be a lot of reasons to deal with pests like midges that are accurate and
Oh yeah.
useful.
Well, 30 has a question about birds. There will be a ground bird that looks like a grouse, and there will be hopefully a flying bird, which will be a duck. I do have the test art for the duck. I think I've showed it once. Um, and the grouse,
So
what the heck is, I can't remember its particular name in Scotland, but um, yes, there will be some birds. The flying is tricky, but I do want to make it work.
you know what would also be kind of neat, or if I don't know how taxing this would, but to have like small birds, like songbirds and whatnot, be in the grass, and whenever people walk by, they flew away.
It would be nice. I think again, if once I have the little mechanic for midges and fireflies, like they don't swarm in exactly the same way, but it's similar. It would a songbird would probably be an effect instead of a physical object. Like a firefly won't be physically there. It will be a a little effect that has a short amount of lifespan and is gone. I might track that, hey, there are fireflies on this tile, but it's not an individual object, and probably a songbird would be the same way. Whereas something that you're going to actually hunt and deal with, like a duck or a grouse, will be a physical object. But yeah, I think um, though maybe songbirds are big enough. We'll have to see. I will put a note in with the midges and fireflies to think about them at the same time.
What about the red squirrel? Is that going to be put in here? I mean, it's about the same size as the mice, so
I don't actually have art for red squirrel. I do have the pine marten though. So I guess if I have one, I can probably get the other. Um, maybe the pine martens eat the red squirrels. um, they probably actually do, because the pine martens are just weasels. So um, yes.
poor Todd. Sarah is just butchering Todd's all willy nilly.
Oh, so the male fox.
Yeah, we need the meat for our pots of loveliness. Getting old. We can have that for dinner.
Look at all those serving tables.
Yeah, I don't normally do kitchen, so I haven't got a really good plan for it yet.
So, have you had any food waste away on those serving tables, or
Not.
are they going at them pretty often?
I haven't noticed. I mean, they're definitely eating the table, this table. So we'll see what happens when dinner time.
Yeah, the serving table should be attracting them pretty well.
I turned this one down slightly to 7 because I wanted the food moved over to these. This one didn't have enough space to put out to. So would this catch this table here? Is this going to catch plates coming out of this kitchen?
Don't think it can jump that far. That's, well,
It's 2 squares away.
it is. Let's find out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Um, it's a distance check, so maybe, maybe.
How do you rotate items? Use R. Most of the things are going to rotate. Middle mouse. Oh yeah, I never knew that. Next to B. B is the best button in the game because B is copy. I want a door. Here's a door. Here's another door. What's your favourite button, Rabbit?
I didn't realize this, but I just got kicked off of the speaker stage. So I've been talking. Yeah, my favorite button is X.
Is X? Did you say?
Yeah, I like deleting things. I'm all about the destruction.
Blue?
It's great for whenever you want to just destroy a whole bunch of stuff. You just double click it, select it, and press X.
Yeah, double click is amazing. I've got a habit, it's not just this game, it's other games, where I double click delete things at the wrong time, shall we say. Done it a few times where I've deleted half the doors in my house and not noticed till the middle of winter when everyone's freezing.
Oh no.
My internet and my PC is kind of weird today. I might have to restart because I noticed in my sound mixer I actually had two Discord uh, bars in there that may be causing my sound issues today.
Oh, your voice sounds okay to me, but yeah.
Yeah, my recordings were just not recording in-game sounds no matter what I did.
Oh, I see.
Yes, Tara. The or tear. The breakdown button is X, so it's breakdown or destroy.
X.
Just depends on what level it is.
X.
Isn't there a backup key as well?
C.
There should be if you mouse over.
C.
Yeah, I think it is C.
Yeah, I use that one. You can use it to move things. You want to move this particular wardrobe to over here. But if you right click it, it will go into a box. I think it 30 made a suggestion about this. Yeah, because if you click the wardrobe, C could select this button here.
Oh, interesting. So unpack doesn't have a hotkey either.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Let me make a note on the ever-growing
I
list.
think he did make a suggestion stating exactly that sort of thing.
Oh, generally what happens is I go into suggestions when I have a free moment versus the bug fixing, which is like all the time. So yeah, suggestions are more or like, oh, what should I do right now? Not, oh, the house is on fire. I must fix this. So yeah, when there's something really important, like, it's great for it to be brought up to my attention right away, like that seems doable anyway. Add C to the unpack.
So, Blorf, how's your stress level today?
Pretty good. That's why sometimes I go quiet. I keep kind of doing my rounds. checking to see the bug report sections and that.
Oh,
There's 257 people playing, and I have to assume half of those are on the new version. So it must be a functional new version so far.
that's this
So as the
version that
day
I'm
goes
playing
on,
right now, isn't it?
yes, you would be on 417 or 48. What is it? 418. 417,
Okay.
and yeah. So you're on Hearth and Home. So yeah, stress level will go down as the day progresses. Um, the the sale activated, which is great. The update is showing up, which is great. Um, so I don't want to jinx myself, but things are functioning currently. I'm just kind of in a maintenance mode now where I every 5 minutes or so just do a circle, check Clanfolk bug reports, check Steam bug reports, check discussions on the update, that sort of thing.
Yeah, Finja, that is a rug under the door, and I. That's one of the things I've been doing lately, is doing rugs under doors. It's a lot of fun.
It looks very cute, doesn't it?
It really does.
Saying that. We're still building here, by the way. We haven't finished.
Lorf, I need to show you my new. Well, my I'm
Thank you.
doing a black. I'm doing a black house design. Another black house design.
Oh yeah.
I need to show you a screenshot of it.
Oh yeah, I can look on Discord.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it via DM. I'm gonna show you one.
You can share it on Discord, Rabbit.
Yeah, and this is to me, this feels more Black House than any of the other ones I've done, because everything is so compact and
Oh yeah.
it's almost like they're living out of. It's like a submarine,
Oh, it's so cute.
but they have all their necessities stacked kind of in the hallway instead of actually having a storage area for it.
Yeah, it's
Are you in
really
the process
nice.
of getting rid of the campfire, or does that stay there for some reason?
I'm leaving it there.
Is there like
That's
a strategy behind that, or
I like the way it looks
okay?
because it's like a Hearthstone, kind of like they have a little campfire in the center of their home, and they can sit around it and just relax and be menfolk.
Yeah, that's cute. It reminds me of the Hobbit house.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's only halfway done, but I'm gonna tell you this, Blorf. I know rushlights were me pushing it on you, but that's possibly my favorite thing ever added to Clanfolk.
They do. I was
No,
looking
it's
at them in the
dogs.
picture. They do
Dogs are
look
the
really
favourite
nice.
thing ever added to Clanfolk.
That
Wait,
is
what?
true too. The
What?
dogs.
Uh, I like the dogs, but they don't have the same effect as rushlights to me.
No,
I
no,
mean,
they're dogs, mate. They're dogs.
see, yeah, I like the dogs, but man, the rushlights, the lighting engine is what sold me on the game. So,
Yeah, we do. We love the rush lights. I'm loving these new tables as well. I think they look
did
really
you
good on the cobble floors.
have you added the new table yet?
I think it looks awesome.
The little tile table.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much.
Oh, good.
It's really cute. It looks good, like I said, with the cobble. Got another one out. It's just so cute. I wanted. You have to come and get a bag of poo in the middle of the night, and there's a little light shining down there. I'm gonna make a shrine when I do my proper churchyard.
Yeah, the rush lights unlocked so early. I needed somewhere to put them, so I figured that was the thing to do. Little tile table.
Very nice. And it is little as well. It's tiny for what it fits into.
Yeah, it's a quarter of a tile.
These poor old toilets, they're still cold and dark.
That's the one thing where rush lights really shine is toilets.
Yeah. I just didn't want to put
Because
them in here because I've got the outside lights, and I think having too many of them in a row like that, I don't know.
yeah, for me, I don't do windows anymore, like almost at all.
Oh,
Like
you just want to see the rush lights do their thing.
I will do a window or two in like the main common area, but any area that is adjoining, I usually just do a rush light next to it, next to whatever is needed.
And you're not finding that they're consuming too much of the workers' time
No,
replacing
because
them.
no, because of 3 days, it's not too terrible. Um,
I don't think it's anything to keep them topped up as long as you haven't got a load
Now
of
then,
other stuff that they're doing. And
I think it's really easy to to uh, forget to make new ones since it takes cooking meat to get the tallow.
oh right, yeah.
So, and you don't want to have too many of them. So it's kind of a weird balance. You want enough rush lights to fill every one of your tables, right? But storing them can be an also kind of an issue.
I think that they're great, and I put them. I like these decorations, these shelf holders. I think they look like a bit like bathroom, bedroom cabinet. They go everywhere. They look really good everywhere. So I put the one
Yeah,
next to the fire. I put it on a lowest. So where I have these other ones dotted around the house, the rush lights get taken to them.
Interesting. Yeah, it's
yeah.
really neat seeing a working community. Um, I really like watching it when it's really functioning like this.
Where's the other one?
That's another thing I want to point out, Blorf, is it's really enjoyable the new things you've added because even the stuff that's like a workstation or not necessarily um, a decoration, everything you've added so far can be a decoration. So I've found that I'm putting things in places that may not make sense, but it's a really good decoration. I just lock it to whatever I want there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's great. I would like to add more decorations. Things like for the tables, it would be nice to have like a little flower or something I could put on the table as well in the slot. Um,
Oh, well, that
it
could be
all
a
comes
use for
down to,
the thistles and the heathers to make a bunch of flowers to put in, and that would go off after time. You'd have to reason to be farming the flowers.
yeah, exactly. It would actually, in reality, it would use exactly the same code as the rush lights, except I wouldn't attach a light to it. They would have an amount of time that they last, and then they would go wilted, and they wouldn't give the nice look anymore. They might just go invisible once they run out. I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah, my thing is I would like to see more wall decor and a lot more outside decor.
yeah. The outside, I've seen requests for benches and flower pots and things, and I really want to do that too. Man, I wish I had a clone. There's just too much fun stuff to add. Um, oh, geez, yeah,
You need someone to just take care of bug fixing so that you can focus on just creating content.
yeah. That poor person, but yeah. I mean, I don't even know how someone it would be difficult because almost all the bugs are AI bugs, and to try and navigate their brains is just crazy. Like there's 70 things on top of each other that you have to sort your way through and figure out, and oh my goodness. Unless you know all the insanity that goes into making them work, it it's crazy. Like I don't know if I could if I would inflict that on someone. Because AI isn't like just at least these guys AI. It's not just like doing a math equation. It's very much more like a
It,
painting, I guess I would say. It's
it's
you
like a
you must
spider web that never ends.
yeah, everything interacts with everything, and you're kind of massaging behaviors out of them. Um, I guess it's how a person decides what to do as well. It's not exact at all what they will do, and it requires handling of edge cases all the time because none of the decision making is as simple as you would think from the outset. Like deciding, hey, should I water this plant? You'd think, oh, is it dry? But there's so much more that has to go into it that and waiting versus all the other 70 things they could be doing at the time, and oh my goodness. So sometimes it's true that it's good to water, sometimes it's false that it's good to water, sometimes you need to preserve the water so people can drink the water, etc. um yeah, I'm rambling, but the AI is there. I'll never write an AI this complex again. I say that I say things like that every time I'm doing a game. I'll never do this crazy thing again. But I know I won't write another
Not
AI
till
this
the next
complex.
time.
It's too big. Like it's great that they're thinking like people, but man, oh man, it's usually not necessary in a game to do that. But this one needed it. So far this stream has been running at least for an hour, probably more, and nothing too horrible has happened as far as I know. I'm just trying to get a sense for how the build is working. Things are
Um,
generally
I
as they
haven't
should be.
noticed anything.
Okay, that's great.
The only thing I
That
noticed
is
when I first loaded up today, and this would be, I was going to bug report it, but first I restarted the game to make sure. I thought it was really weird because the first thing I did was grab that little table and try and place it, this one. And as I was going like that, this UI was flickering in and out,
uh,
which
down there.
the whole everything was like when you have the screenshot taker on.
Interesting.
I've not seen
Oh,
it
jeez.
before and I couldn't reproduce it, so but since you're here I'll mention it in case. That's it, that's the only thing I've noticed, and like I said, I couldn't reproduce it. I've not noticed anything since. So
I
I'll
stepped
put it
away.
down to
What?
my computer rather than the actual game.
I stepped away. What happened?
Oh, I was just asking about how the game has been running this 417 version, and there was an issue when moving a tile table such that the menu was flashing on and off. If that's the
I'm
correct.
That's what was happening, yeah. But like I said, it was only the once, and I've not.
Dwarf. I do have some weird UI bug right now, where if I hover over the ideas menu, oh, it's that same bug I reported where um, I have to record it to show you. But it's basically I have 10 tasks and it's got one bought one line of task and it's switching between lumber and farming over and over again, and hauling over and over and over again.
Oh, in the task menu.
Yeah, on the task
So
list.
when you mouse over the task list, the entries are flickering.
Yeah, it's switching very rapidly between like 4 or 5 tasks.
Rabbit,
It's
have
not
you got
listing
stuff
them out.
prohibited on the bottom?
What's that, Boo?
If you've got people prevented from doing tasks, is that causing a conflict?
I don't have anybody stopped on any of their
Okay.
tasks.
Alright, I was just checking
See,
that.
So
does
on
it?
the task list, it says possible. I don't have any tasks right now. I have 7 total, right? But it's going from just. I'm gonna just record it for you real quick, so I can show you.
Yeah. Does it reproduce on load as well, or no?
I don't know.
I've seen
I
Record
something
haven't.
it
like that, but
first.
it's not a bug. What I've seen happen is where, say, like if the fertilizer, I have 0 fertilizer, but I've got a load of jobs planned for it. Then they make 100 fertilizer. The jobs will pop up, and then they'll disappear when the fertilizer gets used. So is it possible that something is like it needs twigs, needs branching?
No, this is too repetitive to be something like that. So yeah.
So when the task list generates itself, because I've mentioned it before, but the task list is an estimation of the tasks that I create. I can't use a person's brain to generate it. I have to I'm simulating what they would do because I don't have a world, like the tasks don't actually exist. They are scanning the world and figuring out what to do. And I use a system to say, well, this is probably what they're thinking right now. But because there's so much thinking involved, each type of task gets to evaluate itself per frame. So with the 14 tasks, it's going to take 14 frames to update. And that might be what's creating the flicker in that on frame, every eighth frame, when it evaluates something, it's saying, oh, this is the important thing. And then something else goes ahead of it. And then the eighth one comes again. Oh, this is the most important thing. And maybe that's what's happening. It still shouldn't be flickering. But that is what's happening under the hood. There's too much to evaluate all at once, so it does it in a series. Um, Definitely want to bug on that in the video, and I'll make a note of the tile table because yesterday I did change how the the pop-ups evade the mouse pointer. Let me tell you, that is a hard thing to make work. Um, So that could perhaps lead to the tile table issue, but it was the entire UI that was turning on and off, wasn't it? Not just the little pop-up.
Hey Blorf, I sent you a video via DM. I will create a bug report for it, but since we're talking about it, I wanted you to just see
Right.
it.
Yeah, I'll take a look. Thank you.
I've reported a similar bug before.
Yes, I remember we were looking at that, and I can't remember the resolution, if we just could not make it happen or finally figured it out. Let's see here. I'm gonna look at the video really quick, so I'll go quiet. Oh yeah, interesting. Oh, Idea Points is doing something too.
Yeah, it's the same thing that happened last time. So I don't know.
That's really interesting. Not in a good way. Why is it
But
doing that?
it's strictly just those two, but they're the only two that have a pop up on the main GUI element.
wonder if Idea Points is doing that. Is it all the time, or is it just a new thing that just developed in the last few minutes?
No, I mean it's been going for like 2 hours.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna try and see if I can do it on my game.
See, but a couple things about it. So I've had this save running since yesterday. It wasn't running, but it was like paused, and I let it run overnight because I
Right.
forgot to turn it off. Um, but it was not happening whenever I came back to the game at 7 o'clock this morning. So it's something that developed.
Oh, you're on 416 as well. Let me see what I changed since then. Oh, 416 doesn't even have my mouse over pop-up change. Interesting. So it's not what I did yesterday. That's actually good to know that I didn't break it yesterday. Would it be possible to get that save in? Just DM me the save so I can mouse over that and see if I see anything happening.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
I'll also send you the logs. I don't think anything will show up there, but
Yeah, you never know. Can you also update the 417 after you send it?
yep.
That would be great. Thank you. It's just the overlay change I made yesterday uh, is somewhat scary to me, and it hasn't had a lot of viewing. It theoretically should be safe, but it's one of those things that it changes how everything works. And I did it less than 24 hours before the big update. So
Let me just check my task manager while I'm at it. Yeah, Clanfolk is just. Oh, I have a Unity crash handler.
oh,
So for people
interesting.
that are just joining, who know that Clanfolk's now on sale.
Yes. Thank you for mentioning. I should actually do my rounds really quick, come to think of it. They're all too interesting. I'm not doing my rounds.
So, Blorf, with the Unity crash handler, my game is still running. So, is there a way to pull that up, or?
uh Not that I can think of. I think just send me absolutely everything, and put it in the bug. Everything you can get. I have a feeling you're out of memory or something. If it's been running
No,
that long.
no, I'm only using 60% of my memory,
Hmm.
and Clanfolk is just using 1.5 megabyte, or yeah, 1.5 gigabytes. So it's using 20% of my memory,
Interesting.
or 20% of my CPU. Not using. It's using not very much of my memory.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes when it's not in your case, but sometimes in the past on laptops and things, if the memory is low, there would be a crash when saving happens simply because there is a massive amount of data when it saves, but then it zips it down to a much smaller size, and that's when it would bump past the limit for some people. But yeah, that's not the case here.
Right, and that's how we found. That's how we found a bunch of the memory leaks.
Yes, but you're saying right now what you've had it running for 24 hours?
I've had it running maybe not 24 hours, but probably close to like
Um,
16.
no,
And what's
Finger.
the memory footprint right now?
What was that, Blorf?
How much memory is it taking right now?
1.5 gig,
Oh,
which is
that's good. That's
yeah.
great. Okay.
So there's no memory. That's one of the things I checked was when I saw the crash. It was
That's actually surprisingly good. Okay. I'll take a small win there. I thought it would be much higher.
no, it's running pretty good.
But I did mention this to Blorf earlier, and he said he was going to do something about it.
What, your attitude?
Your attitude, mate. The seeds. The extras. Binja was asking in chat.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're going to do something about that. Moo had a very interesting idea about essentially wild seed patches, which I think is what's going to happen. That will use a bunch of seeds, but make really nice looking natural patches. I think it's a good solution because yeah, there's way too many seeds.
It's all your fault, Blorf.
Or I could finally add the grouse and have it just go nuts for seeds. And they'll just come running, and then you can eat the grouse based on all the seeds they eat. I gotta find out what that grouse is called. Now it's driving me nuts. Where is it?
Killer
Yeah,
robots, pirates, and aliens, and don't forget the lasers.
Well,
Cats
that's previous
in
game.
pants. We love the cats in pants. Oh, we've got kittens. That's too many. They're not going to help.
I really think the cats and pants should resurface at some point in the life of Clanfolk.
The cats and pants? Oh,
I think there should be a 1 in 1,000 chance for it to spawn in. If you have a baby born in the house, a kitten, there's a 1 in 1,000 chance that it wears pants.
It'll be that one person who gets upset about it. That's the problem.
Well,
Yeah,
have
but
it
you're
have
gonna
it
do
have
that
it
with
be as an
beavers, though.
unlock then for something.
Yeah, I
one of
might.
the rewards
It
for doing an achievement.
It is true. That's what it's called. It's called a capercaillie. The grouse. Finally. I'll post a picture in Discord of what I'm talking about. Pardon me.
Who would be upset about cat in pants? Trust me. Trust me, there's someone that's going to make a stink about it.
That will be what will eat the seeds, maybe. It's not a bad looking bird.
As long as we can eat them, I'll be happy.
Oh yeah. Well, and I want to have uses for feathers too. So
feathers.
That's the thing. I have to do year 2+, but there's all these other ancillary things that I really want to do at the same time. So
Down pillows.
Yeah, you think about it like decorations for the bed, right? You could have upgrades that make the bed more comfortable.
Well, now that you have the inventory slot for things like beds, it wouldn't be too hard, would it?
No, I wrote it with that in mind. The inventory slots have types, so it is doable. I would have a pillow type and a cover type, which is what the really it just comes down to how many things. You know how like decorative tartan goes on tables and walls and floors and beds. I need to find perhaps more than one use for a pillow, but it might just be that it's just beds.
Real new save.
Feather quilt.
Stop that bug.
What?
But that happened last time too. Is reloading stopped the bug.
Oh, it's not doing the flashing anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, that could be just a reload, or that could be the update that you did.
Oh, I hate that kind of bug. All right, and they never happen for me. That's good to know anyway. Regardless, that it's still out there. Um,
Or if you know what feature I would like? I would like a replace feature.
Oh,
give me an example.
breaking news.
So
Breaking news. Clanfolk is on sale because the update is live. Oh my god, and Blorf and Tech Rabbit are right here in chat with us right now. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Bertie wanted some headlines. There he goes. Carry on, please.
um, no, but like for example, my roof right now on this building is straw, and I'm replacing it with the thatch roof.
Yeah.
But I have to remember, I have to kind of plan it out, like make sure that it's all right. When I would like to just be able to replace, if that makes sense.
If you have a straw roof
Yes.
and then you draw a wood roof over it, it should just do it.
Right, but I would. Well, it's that I would like to. Never mind. It's not a big deal. My my brain was thinking.
Yeah, it should swap them in place.
Right. It was just. I forgot that you could turn the roof back on to where you can see where the straw was.
Oh,
I was operating on the shadow,
I see, I see, I see.
so it was a me error.
You like to do it the hard way.
No, I like to see my clan folk, and I don't like to always zoom out or zoom all the way in.
You know, I always have the roofs off.
The interesting thing is the roof that fades out was actually my son's idea. He was, what is he? He was probably 10 at the time. And he said,
The
you
roof.
should, when the in-between roof, the one that is gone when you're zoomed in and there when you zoom out,
Yeah.
that was my son's idea. He came in and he said, you should fix that. And he was like 10 years old.
Hmm.
I said, oh yeah, good idea.
It is a good idea. Is he hungry or what? What's happening? What are you doing to that bird?
Oh, he's a parakeet. He's
He's just chatty.
12 years old now, which they usually live 10 to 15 years. So he's really old and cranky.
Oh,
He chirps a. He actually he likes rock and roll, so he will chat with rock and roll music a lot too. His favorite's Metallica.
he's got a good taste. Are you drinking out of the... Okay. Why are you sleeping in? Oh, Woofy, you need a bed, don't you? How many have we got? 10. 10. 9. This is where most of the wolves are coming from, isn't it? about these cats?
Florf, Moo has been streaming Clanfolk for 9 hours
Oh my
straight.
god, have I?
Oh wow. Oh, thank you.
Wow, I don't even notice, you know.
That's
Probably
amazing.
would be stopping soon.
Well, before you stop, I'm probably gonna restart my computer and see if I can get streaming as well.
Yeah, if you could get live and we can raid you, that would be awesome. No, I can't have roofs on at any point because then I'll see this bit that I had to build with the other roof where it fell down. I did a bit of modelling inside and that was my solution. And I can't see it. I can't look at that. No. I'm not building a wall inside. I'll just build a piece of roof. Thank you very much.
Was that a plank roof?
It was a
Oh,
wood. Uh, yeah,
yeah,
it's made of planks and nails. It's called a wood roof.
I haven't built one of those in so long. Not since the thatch roof came out.
I always just use straw usually because that's fine. If it was flammable, now that would be another story. I'd have a reason to have to wanting to be replacing my roofs at some point.
When the fires used to happen,
Yes, yes. When
the straw
the fires will
roofs,
happen again.
oh yeah, they were trouble.
Oh, they were
Straw
so much
roofs.
fun.
It was fire
Devastating.
highway.
Brilliant. I love a good fire. Placing stone roofs on top of walls to secure.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that's a good idea. You can isolate the rooms that way.
The only thing it won't stop is ground fires that heat up for long periods. They will burn the roof above them anyway.
Vents will sometimes get transmit between rooms as well.
That's why we have the fireproof vent, right?
Yeah, those are expensive though. I
Yeah.
guess not at year 6 they're not expensive, but early on they're expensive.
Well, I think
I
it
don't think
depends what
I've
kind of map
ever
you're on as
used
well,
one.
because if you're full of mountains and you dig them out, then you've got loads of metal anyway.
I think I'm gonna do that seed fix fairly quickly because I sense that that's going to be an
I think
issue.
you'll get I think you'll get complaints.
And at the very least, I'll get it into the into the grain feeder and the compost because that won't require translation. The I can get stuff into the testing branch without a problem, but when I put things into the main build that isn't translated, it can cause trouble. Right, but yeah, there'll be a few days of me tweaking the default build, and then I'll have to lock it again and start going into the testing branch. But I do have to do something about the seeds. I would say that's aside from if a major bug comes up, the seeds are probably the highest priority right now. That's one problem with translating early is it's great to get lots of people involved, but it does prevent me from doing certain things on the main branch. But the testing branch has quite a good uptake from people as well. So you know what I could do? You know how the rats go after days of food? What if the rats actually also went after seeds? If you have tons of seeds.
Tons of anything. I thought
Uh,
they went for the nearest food.
oh, I mean for their spawn cap. So rats will
Oh,
spawn based on how much food you have, but they could
yeah.
also spawn because otherwise it can become just overwhelmingly huge amount of rats, which is cool in some cases, but not for the general playing community. I would make a note of that as well. I might be able to tweak that.
So the days of food, because we talked about this a little bit earlier, that there can be a lot of food on the map which isn't included in the days of food. Days of food is days of prepared food ready to eat.
Yes, raw meat doesn't count. Cooked meat does.
Like, yeah, my example was oats. You turn that into bread and feed a lot of people,
Yes.
but it's not food according to days of food now.
Not yet.
So I
No.
think some people
It's
panic when they see that the days of food is like, even if they have a supply,
yes. Oats might be a special case because of bros.
well, there's bread
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
mm,
it's a tough one actually because when if anyone sees days of food as being positive, but then also are starving, have starving people, they get really upset as well. It's a tough one. Um, I'll have to think on that one. It's
or maybe if it had the total food in stock and then the total ready to eat.
I could on like on the mouse over perhaps have what could I do? I could have days of food and I could have hmm maybe
Raining. It's raining on the
maybe I
clock.
could do
We
something.
like this.
Just adding some notes.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly, but like sometimes you sort of want to tell them, don't panic. You've got food there. You just need to cook it. You just need to get somebody on it. You know.
Right.
Um,
But maybe
but
they
they're
should be
panicking
panicking.
because it says
Either
0
way,
and there's red meat. Like you said, the red meat one is a classic, isn't it?
yeah, the red meat is there but not cooked. Although if it's not being cooked, they're definitely doing something wrong as well. And they should see a red indicator saying, "Hey, you need that. You need to, get someone cooking." I actually added a emergency cooking tasks just because of that, just the other day. That if
Okay.
nothing is being cooked and they're going to starve, it will just one of the people will just say, I have to cook. I don't want everyone to die. And they will cook a little tiny bit just to kind of let you limp through.
I kind
Um,
of want to test it out, but I kind of don't as well. I love my clan.
it's a hard situation to make happen. Tech Rev and I talked
Well, I
about it a
could just
bit,
turn
but
off all my cookers, right?
yeah, eventually somebody should cook. But with this many people, they'll only cook up to 5,000 food units, so half a stomach full. So you're still gonna have a mass die
Yeah, I
off.
don't, no, I'm not doing it.
Um,
Not doing it.
it's yeah, it's for people who don't yet know how to do priorities and skill hierarchies very well, so they don't just completely
Die.
crush themselves. Yeah, it's
You can
it's
say it.
really
It's all right.
it's
It does
tough.
happen. It's how you learn, though, isn't it?
That's the thing, right? It's there's a certain level because they are so able to figure things out on their own that people expect them to think and preserve themselves. But it's a very fine line between, like, I could have the gameplay itself, and there's a fine line between you telling them high level goals and making their priorities, and them just saying, yeah, okay, we're just gonna survive now. And I don't want to just do that. But people do also get very frustrated when there is food. In particular, there's food and it's not being cooked, and like, what? Why are they so stupid? Well, nobody told them to cook, so they will at least. It's the same with like eating snow. They will at least try not to die to the level that very very simple intelligence style level. But I don't want to take the strategy away from people by just having them do everything on their own, because it wouldn't actually be all that difficult to uh, go to the skill tree, see what skills are not being serviced, and just auto sort them as needed, um, and the game would just work. But can't do that. One thing I will do though that I haven't done is that when you hire a new person, their skills are unsorted, and I probably should sort them based on the algorithm that I used to sort initially. Anyway,
Saying that, I just hired this person.
yeah, that. So if you look at that person's skills, that is the default ordering. But there is actually a function that will look at everybody else's skills and how much they like them and how high level their skills are, etc., and figure out the ordering for the next person and the next person and the next person in the list.
Okay, so it based on it knows what other people do.
And what they like and what they're good at.
Isn't that a bit cheaty though? Because I set them all myself. Like they've all.
The only time it runs is when you first start the game. So if you
Okay.
if you start like a first start or a fresh start, you'll see that all their skills are not in identical order. It picks, hey, this is what these guys would be best at, because you really don't need to go into the skills menu if you don't want to tweak. If you keep your task count low and just let the initial auto sort happen, they'll be fine. But as the years go on, um, and you get new people, none of those new people have their skills sorted. So then you do need to start doing it yourself. But it's not really necessary. I could just set them to a listing that would make sense.
Oh my god, you just totally blow my mind because the first thing I do when I start a game, it's like it sort the skills out before I've collected a twig or done anything.
Oh yeah, you
I
don't
go
need
through
to.
my
Well,
skills and I list everything and I put everyone up and down and do all this and that.
a human doing it is better than the AI doing it. But if you next time, it might be interesting if you look at um, like when you start, just look at the skill orderings, and you'll see that it kind of did a best guess of where they should be. But it's not going to be as good as a person doing it for sure. It's just running through a bunch of math and making decisions based on that.
Yeah, because like, if you get someone like a clan with 3 people that love hauling,
Oh,
you need
it'll
to
find,
know, like, you need to do something about that, right?
it won't make them all haulers. What it'll do is it'll say, okay, hauling is one of the least important tasks to the algorithm. So what it does first is it runs through and it says, is there a cook? It'll say, who's the best cook? And it'll find the best cook and make sure they don't hate it, and it'll put it at the top. And then it'll say, who's the best gatherer? And then it'll put it at the
I want to
top, and it'll keep
start a
going
new
through the
game so
list.
we can go look at what you're talking about.
Yep. So hopefully it doesn't make it really asinine choices now that I've talked it out. But yeah, if you try that, it should be fine. Just if you do a fresh start or something, it should try.
As if my computer doesn't die.
Uh-oh. Please work. That is weird that it's taking so long to save.
No, I've got things. I've got Discord. I've got stream going on. I've got.
Oh, and you have a lot of save games. Yours is like mine. Last time I cleaned it, I had 1,500 saves. So that does make the menu take a while. Yeah.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, I got disconnected, so I just decided to restart my PC.
We're just doing a review of the initial auto sorting.
But what I've noticed is the auto sort, the clan skills and everything, that is, I think I've talked to you this before though, but that is set with the seed.
That is, yes. So
Yeah.
that's what the people who will be spawned based on you clicking the button should be the same, although you have complete control over that anyway. But yeah, that's after the seed has been set, so it should be fairly consistent. But their actual skill sorting, not their skill levels, but the sorting in the skills index will be auto sorted.
That's your clan, isn't
Based
it,
on
Blor?
that is indeed,
Right, so we go with the fresh start.
yeah.
I'm not going to touch it.
Yeah, it should hopefully do logical things. I mean, I wrote it years ago, but it should hopefully do logical things. Still, I hope. Fingers crossed. All right, so if we go to skills,
Here's my cook
there we go.
with a
So,
backup
so
cook.
if you look
Totally
at Janet,
approve of that.
it's decided Janet needs to be the crafter.
There's my
It's
hunter.
decided that Round needs to be the cook. So it's looking at what it thinks is the most important and making at least one person do each task that it finds important.
I like how it's got 3 red things at the bottom. And the gathering.
Oh yeah, it doesn't bottom out all the red things. It just deprioritizes them in the sorting. Because sometimes people will need to do certain jobs. It likes to have a person that does a job and then a backup for that person if possible, but at a lower skill level.
Poor old granddad, he's a good builder.
Yeah, it decided to put him as the cook first, and it won't
Wasn't there a better
get.
cook?
It really prioritizes cooking, but yeah. So that's a
Shall I show you
example
how
of
I
where a
would sort
person.
this out then?
Pardon?
Shall I show you how I would sort this?
Oh yeah. That's good.
Right,
Show me.
so first of all, bottom, the reds, and then I top the skill and the happy. And that shows me that I need a cook and a hunter. There's not much mining to do on my map, so definitely I prefer the youngsters to be doing jobs if I'm putting them on it. So there's a hunter and a cook here.
Okay.
And then I've got building and crafting. Farming's nice to have, but the grass cutting is going to be everyone's job. So they will come up on that. So I'll have to decide out of these two which one's going to hunt. And so this one doesn't like hunting. So that's your job, and you're the cook. And then, yeah, grass cutting comes up. And so on. So like if this guy doesn't like building, everyone else goes down. But we need a youngster on that to take over when he dies. So building, crafting, probably this one. Back up on him. Farming, crafting. Loads of people love that, so everyone else can be low on it.
Real quick, this is pseudo related,
Yeah.
but Blorf, if when you add diseases and stuff, would cleaning be up at as important as like healing and repair?
No,
Not at
it's
the
a
start of the
lower.
game. It comes up really low, doesn't it?
Yeah, cleaning is
Right,
what
but
it.
when you have diseases and stuff, wouldn't that make it?
Oh, I see. Yeah, that might become more important for sure. I would probably still not have the auto prioritizer do it, but
Well, of
leave that up
course,
to the
but yeah.
player. Yeah, I will make a note of that. That is interesting. That yes, having dirty rooms should be bad at that point.
I would probably put clothing on this one as well. And then Mum, she's the one with the baby, so she goes on first aid for now, but sometimes everyone has to go first aid top. And that's it, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'll
Yeah,
put the
definitely
bees
need the
down the
first
bottom.
aid. It's good to have at least one person with a high repair because it's a very uh, uncommonly used skill, but when it needs to be used, it's really important.
But at the start
Yeah,
of the
I
game,
have.
what is the repairs at the start of the game?
It's mostly turning on lights and making sure the fire has, say it's going to get cold. It's feeding fires and things like that.
Yeah, it's a fire, but the cook is going to do that when they're cooking, right?
Only during the day, and that doesn't include nighttime.
Yeah,
So at
it won't
night
stay
time, this
warm
person
overnight.
is doing the crafting and then they're doing the repairs. Probably can put repairs above on that.
Yeah, it's pretty safe. It's the same with doctoring. It's quite safe to have it at the top because anytime it does come up, you really want them doing it. It's almost never going to come up, but if it does, you want them to stop everything and deal with the problem. For example, if Ranald is really busy working right now, and say Janet got is the one who got sick, it might be troublesome if the other people were doing stuff. Um,
Hmm.
could be a worry.
Yeah, all of these things are either really important or very quick tasks. Um, Usually, what I do with repair and cleaning is at the beginning, everybody has them up high so that it's just done because they're done immediately. So they go run and do them, and then they're done for the day, pretty much. But whenever I have big clans, it's usually about 10% of my clan members have that ability.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if I load up my other clan, you'll see that everyone is repairs is one thing that I leave. It kind of comes up high on people coming in, you know?
Oh yeah, the new workers will have the default ordering, so they all have doctor and repair at the top.
Right.
So it'll definitely take care of itself with workers. Sorry, I'll be right back.
At the start of the game, I would just put the mother of the baby on top of first aid if I felt it was necessary. Sometimes I don't. And then if it's winter and we're having a rough winter, or I notice someone's sick, then I put the first aid up to top on everyone.
Yeah, I always tend to leave just kind of leave doctoring and repair high and then have 10% of them be cleaning, just because cleaning is a negative area skill. So everybody, whenever they see dirt, they get upset about it.
Yeah, I don't mind because when the clan gets to this state, there's people that love doing each job, so I just have them like the place is clean. Look, I'll show you where repairs is like this. It's kind of high on everyone. but it's not the top of their list. Because when it's running like this, there's not always building jobs for everyone to do. So these people come out and they'll do. If there's no lumber and no building, he's doing repairs as his first job anyway. So a lot of these are doing. That's a level 10 repairs there. But I notice it when you run the hotel, you need a lot of repairs.
Yep.
For sure. And I've got mine switched off at the moment because we're doing all this farming. It's growing in the rain. Did you see that?
What about the rain?
The crops were growing. The rain was watering them.
Yeah.
I'm back. I missed the skill thing. Sorry. If you want to show, I can also rewind, I suppose.
Yeah, well, I was going to say this is how the clan has ended up. With me not touching repairs, basically. So like, when it gets to this stage, there's not all gathering. Not everyone goes out and gathers craft every day. Mostly, like, look how high their repairs are. They all do it,
Yeah,
and
that's good.
it gets done quickly because it doesn't. But when you have hotel running, that's when that stacks up.
Yeah, it looks like things will get done quite well, obviously, because the homestead here is doing really well. So yeah, good.
Hey, Blorf, can I ask a favor?
Yeah,
This is a little tidbit thing for me, but you know the pulsating out in the rain thing?
make it bigger and faster.
No, I would rather it not be tied to game speed.
Oh, is it tied to? Oh, I
Yeah,
guess.
4x pulsates pretty fast and it was a little distracting.
Is that not good though?
Uh,
Because then you're having even more problem in 4 times speed. You're having 4 times the problem.
I suppose it's
It's
distracting for me because the only thing I have out in the rain are things that I don't really care about, but I'm also an experienced player, so yeah.
the reason I put it in is we've seen it come up a lot in the bugs. They will never cook.
Yep.
They'll never cook. I don't pulsate the normal ones because that would be just maddening. But for crafting stations, they won't do it. Why won't they do it? And it's like, and then you'll say, well, is it in the rain? Yeah. Well, they can't. It doesn't work in the rain. But they didn't see the icon, I guess. So
Oh,
Yeah, but it to me it's a little distracting because it's like pulsating in my face.
what item do you have in the rain that I'm just curious.
Smithy.
The smithy's in the rain.
Yeah.
I could make it probably go slower then.
I
It's
mean, I guess it's not that big of a deal. It's just I have to kind of keep it off screen so I'm not looking at it.
no, I'll do it. I'll change it. I can divide it by the I can divide the rate by the time scale and it should be fine.
You know what
Divide.
though? But yeah, Finja is saying the same thing, but we're both highly experienced players, so we don't normally have the same issues that new players have. You know what? Why not have a turn off setting for that instead?
I'll just switch it. It's all right. I think they'll still see it and it won't annoy people. A lot of these settings will never be found if I put them in. So
Right.
I'll just divide it by the rate and it should be fine. I mean, in reality, it might be kind of crazy at 12 times speed at night anyway. if it's
Oh, it
raining,
is. It absolutely is.
it would just go whoa. Yeah, so I'll fix that. That'll be in the next change.
You should look at it at 12 times speed. It's kind of silly.
Yeah, see, this is one of those things that I don't think about when I put it in, because I put it in a test bed. I say, okay, make it rain. Okay, good, looks good, pulsing. Next thing. But in the real world, things like, oh yeah, 12 times speed at night, and expert players, first of all, not really needing the indicator, but it pulsating fast at them because the expert players play faster as well. Yeah, I will fix that for sure. I am convinced.
It may just be my OCD too, because it's really easy to get distracted.
Well, there's two of you talking about it now, so it's obviously a problem. I will fix it. It's no problem to fix it. I just have to take the virtual delta time and divide it by the time scale. No problem. It's a one line fix.
Nice.
And I have to make sure I don't divide it by the time scale when the time scale is 0 and blow up the universe. But yes, that's the only other thing. I better put a note in there so I just don't do it by accident. Oh my goodness. Divide by 0.
Internet is this box problem.
Sure.
Have you ever seen IT Crowd?
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
When she drops the internet and everybody's freaking out.
What did she do to the internet?
She's got this box.
They convinced their manager that the internet was in this little black box. And so she went to do a presentation and she dropped the black box and everybody in the little conference was freaking out.
It's been years since I saw it, but yes, that does sound familiar now. Well, people are playing. We're up to 334. So that's good. People are having fun, hopefully. I don't see any new bug reports, knock on wood. So that's good, except for the ones we've talked about here.
I just unlocked Haggis. Don't mind if I do.
So
yes, Bertie, that is a thing. Enjoy. Alright. I'm doing beds here.
emojis are thrown on the screen.
On Twitch, yeah.
Talking about the Twitch thing.
How's that done? Let me see here. Now this sounds fun. Uh-huh. See what happens here.
Yes, all the pig.
Oh my goodness.
Now we're just destroying Moo's stream so she gets off.
Where are we going? We're ready to raid you, Rabbit. Where are you?
Oh, I'm ready to go. I was waiting for you.
All right. Well, you could have said something, mate, because I should have been off ages ago. Right.
So let me. I think I have the sound working after a restart, so I think we're good to go. And I'm gonna go ahead and start it, and I'll start it in starting Zoom mode.
Okay, right, guys, thank you, everybody, Blorf and Rabbit, especially, thank you so much. It's been lovely to have you on here.
Oh, thank you for playing, yes.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to play this game. Yeah, I did make a couple of suggestions. That one about the seed.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's written down there. Yeah, we're gonna go and raid Rabbit now, so we're gonna carry on chatting in Discord probably. But the stream is ending on Twitch, so if you are watching on Twitch, come over to Rabbit's channel on the raid. Cheers, guys. Thank you, everyone. It's been lovely. I wish
Night.
Blorf best of luck with this update. I'm sure he'll be fine. Thanks, everyone. Bye now.
All right. And we are live. Hopefully, we can hear game audio.
I only hear you, but I have Twitch muted. Let me move over to your channel.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe on Discord if you link your channel, or should you do it on Twitch?
So we're
Yeah,
bringing everyone in Twitch over to Rabbit's channel. Okay.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, and also, guys, if you are watching on Twitch, don't forget to follow the Clanfolk category as well, because that helps it get noticed on Twitch. The actual category for it. Make sure you give that a follow. Anyway, I'll catch you later, guys. See ya.
Thank you. Good night.
all right. So
Oh, something happened.
there is the raid. Thank you, Moo, for the raid.